So a lot of you were confused about the different lists that were being released. So I am going to shed light on some of them. Like, for example, what is the difference between circle chart and melon chart? What's the difference between uh, uh, the be- the best selling solo song versus the best selling song and all of those things. So I won't be able to cover everything. I'll be able to cover some. So if you have some questions, just let me know. Okay, let's start. So in Korea, there are two major chart, and meaning major, I mean they are popular, and they are Hanto and Circle Chart. They both measure physical sales or sales. So in Circle Chart, for example, they do take into consideration digital sales, but it's almost irrelevant because the conversion for a digital sale to be considered one full sale, there's so many transactions. So they really concentrate on physical sales. Um, so those are the two ones. However, the circle chart is the one being used by Billboard for their chart. So if they need to take something, they actually get the stat of circle chart, not Hanto. Um, in circle chart, there are two different album chart: the retail album chart and the album chart. Album chart measures the shipment. So how many albums were shipped from manufacturer to distributor, right? So for example, if I'm a distributor, I have 10 stores, and my initial order is 100, for example. This is on consignment, meaning I don't pay you. This is just an example. I don't pay you until I actually sell the albums. So um, that is album chart. They will count how many albums the manufacturer shipped to the distributor. That's album chart. The retail album chart is the actual purchase of a customer. So, there are QR codes or barcodes or whatever in a product. So when that is scanned, that data that gets sent to Circle Chart, and that's what they count. So they know that, okay, you actually purchased the album, you didn't just ship the album. Okay, that's the difference. So retail album chart is the actual purchase, and album chart is shipment. Now Hanto claims that they only count real time actual purchase. So whenever it is scanned, when a product is scanned for sale, that's when they count it. Okay, but you're going to be very, very surprised with the difference in their numbers. Okay, so let's look at um, the actual. Is it big enough for everybody? Let me know if it is not. Is it big enough for you? Yes. Okay. So remember, retail album chart is the actual purchase. Album chart is the shipment. So this is usually, not usually, but always lower than than album chart. This is what they shipped, and this is what was purchased based on the scans. Okay, Hanto claims that each of this is actually an actual purchase, but look at the difference in numbers. So according to circle chart, so this to our circle chart, C and D. For the best selling album, according to them, is 17's FML. Okay. Um, and as per Circle Chart, there were 5.5 million albums shipped, but the actual purchase was only 3.5. Okay. However, Hanto is saying that the actual purchase is 6.3 well, actually 6.34. So we're not quite, I am personally not quite sure where the difference is. There are some unofficial explanation, which I'm going to be giving you in a bit. Okay. Unofficial meaning that Circle Chart and Hanto never admitted or explained why there is such a huge difference in the numbers that they are providing. Um, so for Stray Kids is the second best selling according to retail album. Well, according to retail, according to Circle Chart, Stray Kids 5 star is the second best selling. This is 5.2 shipped, but the actual purchase is 2.7. That's almost half. They shipped 100% more than what was bought by the customers. Um, and then 17, 4.8 was shipped, but only 2.5 was actually bought. However, Anto is saying 6.1 was the actual purchase. Okay. Um, this is where it gets interesting. Give me one. Okay. So for TXT Temptation, they shipped 2.8, only 1.3 was purchased. But according to Hanto, 2.6 was purchased, and that is the only number that they released. For Jungkook, Hanto said that there were 3.2 actual sales, but the according to Circle Chart, only 1.2 was actually sold. And then Jimin's face, he actually has the smallest difference of all. 1.3 was shipped, but only 1.1 was actually bought, almost 1.2. So he has the smallest difference between the two. This is TXT 2.3, but only 1 million was bought. V 1.6 was shipped, but 980 was purchased. But according to Hanto, 2.6 was purchased, almost 2.5, 2.95. So it's almost 2.6. And then there's a big gap, especially when it comes to SM artists. So look at this. For Espa My World, 2 million was shipped, but 828,000 was purchased. That's a big difference. And then there's another one. Where is that? NCT. Okay, here, NCT 127 fact check. They shipped 1.6 million, but only 356,000 was actually purchased. And in Hanto, they didn't even make it to the top 50. Okay. For ITZY, 1.1 was shipped, but only 356 was purchased directly by customers. So there's a big difference in many of this. I think even new jeans, there's a huge difference. Like they shipped 1.6, but only 615,000 were purchased, and then 1.2 for OMG, but only 603 were purchased. However, there's a difference when it comes to the Hanto chart. According to Hanto, Get Up actually sold 2.2 million and then 1.09 million for OMG. So that would be this one for EXO. According to so this is 2023, by the way. Um, Circle Chart hasn't released the 2024 numbers. Just wanted to make you see, to show you the difference between the corrected number of Hanto from the actual, and how is it different from the actual number of Circle Chart in 2023. So it's a there's a big difference. Okay, so by shipped you mean to retailers? Yes, the shipped to retailers from the manufacturer to the retailers, and then actual purchase retail album is when the barcode was actually scanned for purchase. So when it is scanned, it means that it was actually purchased by a client, by a customer. Okay, so this is an unofficial explanation as to why there is such a huge difference. Because remember, for for awards and for Billboard and other international charts, Circle Chart is what they look into. They don't refer to Hanto. They just refer to Circle Chart. So The question is, why is there such a huge difference? The unofficial explanation I got from people is that circle chart actually follows the same principle as billboard, meaning they don't count repeated purchase. So if you're a single credit card may only buy a certain number of copies. Other if you go over that number, then the rest of your purchase will not be counted anymore for this one. Um, but again, that is unofficial. That is why in almost everything, their number is actually lower than the one that is being released by Hanto, even though Hanto is claiming that just like retail album chart of circle chart, they're counting the actual purchase. Is the number for like BB? They said that it's even lower. So again, just want to make it very, very clear. It was an unofficial explanation. I can't get anybody from Circle Chart to actually release any kind of statement, primarily because I don't understand. I'm not that good in Korean, so I need a translator to be able to talk with them. I do have some friends in Korea, and I asked them to research. They said that they will. Of course, that's a favor, so I don't know if they will actually be able to do it. They do have a life; they're very busy, but as of now, the unofficial explanation that I got. It is lower because they limit the number of repeated purchase of from a single credit card. So if you go, that is why I was telling armies to just, if you're going to buy an album from a store, just use cash. Leah said yes, saw the flutter of nonsense. Oh, okay. I will talk about that. So does that mean that Hanto is more accurate? It is more accurate in terms of the number of albums that were sold. Yes. However, in terms of what is legit, is that is going to be counted in the chart, circle chart is more accurate. So, you know, like, do you consider it I by the way, I think that is a fair thing for them. Like I don't mind two separate charts. One would be the total number of sold albums, and then the other would be the total number of unique purchase. I think that's a fair measure to have, because you can't discount the fact that an album is selling, right? You can if somebody pays for it, that's a sale. But also, it's uh it's getting too much that one person will be able to buy 10,000 albums and each one will be counted, because that's just too much. Would different versions count as the same purchase? They are different purchases. So for example, if you have by the way, this is connected to what you're asking. When for this, they will only count the sale of an album from this official distributors, from their partners. If you are not a partner and you are selling the album, you're not going to get counted. So you have to be an official partner. So for example, for BTS, because they usually have a Weverse version, right? So for example, there's a golden Weverse version, D-Day Weverse version, usually the smaller ones. That the Weverse version is not counted because they do not consider Weverse as an official partner. Does that I think that answers your question, right? So when they distribute that, so yes, different versions are separate purchases, except if that version is being distributed in a store that is not a partner of theirs. Hanto shows different numbers for Weverse versions versus regular versions. So the circle chart also separates the numbers of Weverse version. The store membership purchase roll into a single purchase. The store membership purchase roll into a single purchase. Yes, yes. Well, that I'm assuming that's coming from a single payment source. If it's coming from a single payment source, then yes, that is one that rolls into a single purchase. Yes. As long as fans will pay cash, it will count. Otherwise, it will not count. Yeah, so that's why I was suggesting to armies, if you're going to go into a retail store to buy and you're going to buy multiple copies, just pay in cash. What I would usually do, because I I buy as much as I can, whatever money I have, I'll just buy. I will buy one and then circle, go to another counter, buy another one using cash. That way, I am guaranteed that my purchase is actually being counted. That symbol, okay, that's asinine. A purchase is a purchase is a purchase. No, true. That's why. Though, again, I will ask, like, are you okay that one person will be buying like 10,000 copies and that's going to be counted? So that is a that's a question. So for Billboard, because they view that as chart manipulation, because then if you have one billionaire army, for example, then they can just buy like 1 million copies and it'll be okay. So the resolution is that they're going to limit the number of albums a point of a, a payment process, a payment source can actually buy. What if they're gifts? That's why you're not limited to one, right? You can buy as much as four, as many as four. And so that accounts for maybe a gift. But my solution is, hi Ruja, Ruzika. My solution is to just buy in cash. That's what I do. That's buy in cash. So every purchase that I make is counted. Okay, any other question before I moved on to the next, before I move on to the armies buy multiple copies to gift at the movie theaters during BTS documentaries or solo movie concerts. Yes, there is a limit per account, but people are savvy. They make many accounts for voting, for voting, buying, and winning. Um, yes, but then you're only. It is a matter of the payment source. So if they know that it's coming from the same credit card, if the same credit card is paying for it, it still won't be counted. So you have to make sure that your payment source is actually unique. Couldn't the billionaire fan buy in cash? They should be able to buy. Okay. So another chart that I thought was very interesting was this one. Oh, is it this one? Yes. Okay. So this is girl groups primarily, and I was gonna do the boy bands, but it's just going to be like BTS, BTS, BTS. So I just did the girl groups, but I will do the boy bands next. So this is the number of songs that each group that the group has. So the most number of songs come from Twice. They have 288. Imagine. Um, and then the next one would be Girls' Generation. They have 197. Next would be Mamamoo at 165. Red Velvet has 156. ITZY has 118 and Blackpink 108. This includes, hi Ran, this includes remixes. Okay, so this is in total because they do count the remixes streams. So for Melon, if you arrange it on the number of streams on Melon, it'll be Twice, Blackpink, Red Velvet, Mamamoo, Le Sserafim. That's your magic five. And then you go G Idol, New Jeans, Girls' Generation. If you base it on Melon. If you base it on Spotify, Blackpink is going to be number one. Uh, this is 14 million for Blackpink. Twice is 9 million. New Jeans is 5.6. G Idol, Red Velvet, and then Le Sserafim. So your big five would be this. But then you do need to take into consideration that G Idol and Red Velvet have been there for a long time. So way before New Jeans and Le Sserafim. But regardless, they are the big five in Spotify. I do think that this actually tells a story on how on what kind where and as a group is actually going to make it bigger. So it's obvious that when it comes to G Idol and Red Velvet, they are bigger um, in South Korea, but globally, you have New Jeans. I know it looks like G Idol and Red Velvet have more, but they've been around for longer, so they've accumulated more streams. But if you like just do apples to apples comparison, it's going to appear that New Jeans, Le Seraphim are the ones that are big globally. I did. I was trying to generate the Spotify US streams, and I'm going to do that next time. But the leading ones are it's still Blackpink and Twice, and then it's Le Seraphim and New Jeans. So don't you think it's interesting? I thought the shift between Twice and Blackpink for Korea, and then Blackpink and Twice. I thought that was so interesting. But then you have globally, New Jeans is just raking it in at 5.6. So, okay. What was the small numbers again? Oh, okay, sorry. Those are the number of tracks that they have, the number of songs they have in the, this is the number of, sorry, this is the number, that's the number of songs that they have in Spotify, in the streaming platform Spotify. And then this does not include their individual songs. So, for example, for Le Seraphim, Ha Yun Jin has several songs. I think she has six already. That is not included here. And then for Blackpink, the individual songs of Lisa and Rose, those are not included there. How many copies can one cardholder purchase? Four copies. Learn about the beautiful humans known as BTS and watch their awesome content. Ruzika is Ruzika. How does one become an army? You just start listening to BTS and you're an army. There is no special requirement. That is it. What was the small number again? Ruzika, just and BTS. JR said, thinking on what you mentioned before that Spotify pay less to the artist is the same for digital purchase on Spotify. Do artists get paid less? Yes, same. They're one of the lowest paying, primarily because they do have a free tier. Remember, so for those, the only source of income, if they're allowing you to listen to the songs and they're still paying, then the only way they can earn is through advertising, and that's not very big. So yeah, so they paid the least, one of the smallest. That's why I prefer Apple Music. I do have Amazon Music as well because they do pay better than Spotify. The best paying one I think is Napster. What was okay? How many songs they have? Oh yeah. How many copies? Okay. Valentina Trinidad, 4 copies in the US at least. Yes, 4 copies. Halina, bye. Bye, bye. Good night. Five, not counting jellyfish. Correct, yeah, not counting that jellyfish. I'm so excited for that single. Oh my god. Um, all right. Questions, night night. So you have okay. All right. Next, let's look at more charts. This is 2024 most streamed songs on Melon versus top streamed songs in Spotify. For Melon, it's Plave, and then Im Yung Wong, and then Im Yung Wong, and then Plave again. At least aespa was able to get in 106 million streams for Supernova and then play again. But if you compare that to the top songs in Spotify, it's Who, Seven, Standing Next to You, Love Me Again, Magnetic, Apathy, Friends, Like Crazy, 3D, and Rockstar. I'm comparing Spotify and Melon because Melon is the biggest streaming platform in South Korea, and Spotify is the biggest streaming platform in the US. That's why I'm comparing the two. It's not necessarily like an accurate comparison because there's Apple Music and there's whatever, but because those are the two biggest. Okay, so just as an explanation, Plave is not AI. There are actual human beings behind them. So they do rotoscoping. So those are the voices of actual people. They actually do um, live streams. Of course, they don't show their faces, but they are not AI. Okay, there are actual human beings behind them. So people are asking who is Plave. I'm going to show you who Plave is. Okay, Plave. I don't know if that was a huge help, but that is Plave. This is a representation of actual human beings. They are, as I've said, they do rotoscoping in order to sort of approximate how they look like. So the assumption is that this cartoon and animation, they actually look like the actual members of Plave. As of now, they don't have any plans of revealing their actual identity, but they are big in Korea, as you can see. It's play, and then Yin Yung Wong, and then play again. So that is seven. They have seven of the most streamed songs on Melon for 2024. But then if you go to global top K-pop, it's Who, Seven, Standing Next to You, Love Me Again, Magnetic Apathy, Friends Like Crazy, 3D, and Rockstar. So there's really a huge difference between what Koreans like and what the global community likes. Um, Second from left, which one? Guy, black hair. It looks like High Boy. Two members of Plave were on my hosted by Subin. It was fun episode. Fairlane is play. No, they're not AI. There are actual human beings behind those animated characters. So when there is an MV, they do mocap. They attach those things on the body of the person when they dance, and then they trace the movements through those attachments. So the movements are actually based on the movements of the actual singer and the actual idol. The voices are from like an actual human being. They write their songs, they produce their songs. They have um, they have a radio program. They actually do live streams and stuff. But there is always an animated character that covers their actual faces. Grace Panganiban. Hi, Grace. I'm having a hard time believing that's what they actually look like. They said it is based on their actual like faces. Welcome, Grace. So yeah, so that's Plave. But look, I mean, things like the reason I do like geeking out and comparing numbers is because it does provide me a good idea on how a local market is so different. Hi, Juveline, on how hi Apabanco, on how the local market is different from the global market. Like how different is each the interest, like what the public would like. I if you Plave will most likely Plave has a potential in the global market, but they're going to be targeting a different segment. It's not going to be K-pop fans, probably gamers, but definitely not K-pop fans. Uh, all elite memes. Hi, everyone. Cindy said maybe they were holograms like they did with Suga when he was out with the shoulder surgery. Plave can have a life in Korea. That is one of the benefits because now they're super popular. And so some of the members actually like they said that one of the things they like about what they do is that they get a life. Like they don't nobody knows who they are. So they get to have a life. I'm just wondering if their relatives actually know. It reminds me of the cartoon in 1990s Gem. Okay, somebody asked me to clarify the difference between Hot 100, Billboard 200 Global, and Global Exclusive US. So for Hot 100, which is usually the most difficult chart to get into and the most desired chart, it's US only. It only accounts for US streams and US radio spins and US sales. And it is songs only. So they track the success of a song. Billboard 200, also US only, but they track the success of an entire album. But this includes both physical and digital sales. So there is a formula. So one sale of a song, if you buy a song, that's one sale. However, they also ratio there is a if you stream a certain song a specific number of times, that would be considered one album unit. So for example, if you stream 10 songs of an album, that would be considered one album unit, so that's one sale. And then if you so there's also a difference between premium streams, these are the paid accounts, and a free stream. So if it is a free account that you have, you're gonna have to stream 3,750 times for that to be considered one album unit. And if you want, but if it is a premium account, then if you spin or if you play or stream 1,250 times, that's one album unit sale. And then for global 200, that is songs only, but it includes other countries. And there's over 200 countries that they count for the chart. But the global exclusive US is just like global, but it does not include US. So it's also a good indication on what songs are actually popular in Asia or Europe versus what's popular if you include the US. So the US skews the numbers a lot because it's the biggest market in the world. Now, proper way to stream. People, don't behave like a bot, please. If you're going to do a playlist, do not behave like a bot, meaning do not have a pattern. So a lot of people would do like seven consecutive of one song, and they were like, "Oh, it's remixes, it's okay." That algorithm are not stupid. The the algorithm is not stupid. They know that you're streaming artificially, so you're gonna have to be very very careful. Always remember that 10 counted streams are better than 100 deleted streams. So behave like a human beings. Like a human being. So diversify, correct? Lara said, diversify your songs in a playlist. Don't do like seven consecutive of one song and then and you think like it's okay, it's remixes. No, they know that you are streaming. The hardest actually is Apple Music, or yeah, Apple Music, because they don't reveal they're like, we don't care. They don't reveal how they count the streams, the number of streams of a song. They're like, nope, you're just gonna have to stream the way that you streamed, and we're gonna make the decision on which streams are counted. So for Apple Music, you have to be extra careful. Remember, stream like a human being. It doesn't matter if you're streaming a song 1,000 times in a day or 5,000 times in a day. If none of your streams are counted, then it's better than nothing. Then it's almost like nothing. So you have to shuffle it every now and then. You have to put in songs, take out songs, but always remember, if 99% of your playlist is one song, even if it is actually different, um, versions of a song, that is most likely going to get deleted. So please behave like a human being. Don't waste your streams. I put songs on repeat because I just love them so much. No! Don't put them on repeat. I mean, what do you mean you put them on repeat? Like it just goes back. You have to insert the song in a playlist over and over again. Hi, Esil. I make a playlist. Okay, yeah, make a playlist, but don't like stream like a human being. No, V Heart, don't click the loop button. No, 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 no. Don't click the loop button. Everyone is saying no. V Heart, no. No, no, no. Do not loop. Don't loop. So you're gonna have to make a playlist, and then put in your playlist, you're gonna have to put like different songs, and you have to like if you're trying to, for example, because we're now trying to keep Who inside Billboard Hot 100, it's probably going to get inside top 30 or top 25 even. So for example, if you want to everyone's like don't be frustrated. Okay. Okay. So V Heart. So you're gonna have to make a playlist, and then if you're trying to stream a song, you're gonna have to put the song over and over again. So don't just loop. Uh, so include it, add it over and over again. But you have to put different songs in between. So, for example, for Who, there are remixes. So you can put Who and then one song, and then Who acoustic, Who rock remix, instrumental, and then put two other songs, and then put back Who, whatever. But don't loop. So once what I would suggest is, once, what are you using? Are you using Apple Music, or are you using Apple Music or Spotify? So once you're done with your playlist, so for example, you make a playlist and it's about four hours. Spotify, okay. So once you're, it's actually very easy to create a playlist in Spotify. So once you're done with your playlist, you can find other playlists that are also focused on whatever song you're trying to stream. So you can play that next, and then play another playlist again before you go back to your own playlist. So it's better if you're jumping through different playlists than just repeating your playlist over and over again. But do not loop. Everyone's like, no, don't do that. So yeah, um, this Amazon Music count, yes, they do. So the top four are Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube Music. They also count Napster, Deezer. There's one more. V Heart. Okay, I won't. Okay. So if you go to my account, I do have a playlist for Who. If you wanna stream Who, I do have a playlist for Who. You can click that to play it, and then create your own. And then there are several other playlists. You just have to be careful, V Heart, because some people will actually say that this is a Who focused playlist, and then it's just Who in the first two songs, and then there are like 500 different songs after that. So you also have to be careful in what playlist you choose. Me too. Wow, Napster is still around. It's still very much around. Ray Aviles said armies have a ton of playlists on Spotify for each album or specific songs. Yes, yeah. So if you need help, you can go to, if you're not yet a member of my Patreon, please sign up. There's a free tier. So just in case you don't want to pay, that's okay. But at least you will have access to BTS related resources like playlists and other stuff. Does it have to be a premium account for it to count? No, but it's just that you have to stream more for it to be counted as one stream. So, or one sale, like one album sale. So, but it does count. Premium account have bigger weight, correct? Yeah. They're just more. So that's why, like for Apple Music and for Amazon Music, it's easier because both of those are actually uh, paid. You don't have a choice. You have to pay. So those have, that's heavier on the list. I'm making playlists on Spotify and Amazon Music. I listen to music when I sleep, so make them long. Yeah, so my one of my lists is actually one of my playlists is actually like 16 hours. I have 8 hours, and then I have shorter ones too, like 2 hours, just to make it varied a little bit. And then I try to find, if I know of another playlist from someone I really trust, I'd play that. And then before I go back to my own, I never knew the algorithm was so specific. Yep, they are very, very specific. And they now have Duo, so you can have two accounts cheaper than before. Ah, okay. That's great. You mean Spotify? Okay, so someone was actually. So, do we have any question? Any other? Do you have any other question, Vhart, or anybody when it comes to streaming? Just want to emphasize that when it comes to Apple Music, they do not actually say what kind of stream is actually counted. So you have to even be more careful. So that has always been my principle. If I stream 10 times, but I know that 10 streams are actually counted, it's way better than streaming 1,000 times and not get those streams counted. So be careful. VHeart. So for now, personally, I'm still streaming Who heavily because I'm trying to keep it inside Billboard Hot 100. And I'm using two accounts. I have Apple Music and I have Amazon Music. Now that my mom is here, I think she kind of wants Spotify. I don't know. But then I also, in between Who, I put in other songs that were pushing for 1 billion streams or 2 billion or 3 billion. So right now we're trying to push Dynamite. It should be 2 billion right now, right? So Dynamite, Standing Next to You. So all of those songs of other members, I just put it as a filler, but it's dominated by Who.